time for us to pause and reflect on the importance of the starting procedure in a V8 Supercar. And clearly this is a business that's all about fractions of time. If you've worked all weekend to try and find a tenth of a second to get yourself up the front of the grid, the last thing you need to do is duff the start and find yourself buried in the pack. And the fact is, you never ever recover from it. Even if you've got a slightly slower car, a ripper start immediately puts you in the battle and opens up your options. On that subject, strategy is very important. If you make a great start, you've got more strategy options for the blokes back in the bunkers. They can then play their cards as they see fit. If you make a shocker of a start, all those options close down. Now, what defines a good start? We measure them between 0 and 100 kilometres an hour, and to do it, there's a whole bunch of data that's recorded in the cars, as you know. This information has been provided by Stone Brothers Racing, and it reflects a performance from Alex Davison in the number 4 Irwin Tools car. We measure throttle position, engine speed, RPM, also longitudinal G, so when you drop the clutch there's a load goes back through the car, that's measured, and obviously the speed of the car. So here we are, idling along, 0%, start's imminent, up come the revs, up comes the throttle percentage, and it's sitting there at around about 30 to 35% until the point of the start, which is right here. Look at the poor old engine sitting here, free revving here, sitting at 7,500 revs, blazing away, bouncing on the rev limiter. Here's longitudinal G, nothing going on until the point where the clutch drops, and here's the speed, and away we go. Now, a good start will happen in around about 3.7, 8 or 9 seconds. Anything over 4 seconds is considered to be bad. A ripper start will be around about 3.6 seconds. This is a bit of fun because I've been able to sneak in under the guard of Mark Larkham, who has vacated his tech centre for just a moment. So while the cat's away, the rats are playing. But this is the theory. To put it all into practice, let's get back out to the circuit now and hook up with Larko, who's going to fill in all the blanks in practical terms.
Okay, well, I'm here in the Stone Brothers Racing Shane Van Gisbergen's SP Tool Airs Falcon. And absolutely, as Neil just pointed out, this whole start sequence has become quite a science. So the first thing we need to do is be able to warm our tyres up sufficiently as we approach the line. And there's two ways to do that. There's the swerving, or there's this. Accelerate, jump on the brake. Accelerate, jump on the brake. And what that's doing is putting heat not only into the tyre but into the brake, which is transposing into the tyres. Okay, now as we approach our box, what we... Okay, so have a good race, he says. So here we are on the start line. What's very important is you must stop your wheels on the white line. You can't go beyond it, but you can put the nose of the car beyond the line. Now, so we've got heat in our tyres, and as Neil's just shown you, very scientific. So on my dash here, I'm going to have throttle position when I bring the throttle up, so I know I want about 30% throttle. Now, that's going to mean the engine is going to be banging on the limiter, so that all sounds pretty dramatic, but that's okay. But the whole trick here is not getting bucket loads of wheel spin and just trying to drive the thing nicely off the line. Now, the other thing we've got here is a little handbrake, which is down here. So I'm going to engage that handbrake, take that off. Now that stops the car rolling as I start to feed the clutch out. Now in a minute the lights are going to come on, and we've got about 5 seconds, between 3 and 5 when the red light comes on, before we get into action. So let's see how we go. Bring the revs up. There's the 5-second board. There's the percentage on the dash. From the drink bill at the motel. He's a little more generous since he won Bassett. Now the hard thing here is through these first corners, my tyres very, very cold, and typically, obviously I would have traffic all around me. Now the other thing I want to just quickly show you, we've spoken a lot about this whole gear shift sequence, how you can actually change the car through the gears flat. Now what's the right foot? It's flat, bang. No clutch, just flat. And I can do that because in here is a little strain gauge, a little device that tells the computer that I've pulled on the gear stick. It cuts the engine rev for about 41 thousandths of a second, just enough for me to pull it into the next gear. But when I brake, look at my feet now, when I come down through the gears, I've got to actually heel and toe again. I've got to match the gearbox rev to the engine rev. Absolutely fantastic. And look, I've got to thank Stone Brothers again, because when I rang Ross Starr
Mark Larkham reliving the glory.